There we go. Now it's live. Just had to restart it. Jeez.
Just drop it in general chat.
Yeah. That was silly.
He like teleports.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Yeah.
So that sounded like a black metal band name.
Yeah, it does.
Sumerian Elder.
That's cool.
Just fucking share this to you. So of course I made a little playlist.
Of all like the black metal stuff.
Yeah. There's one specific song that I think you should check out. It's called The Hordes of Nebula. It's like black doom metal. It is so good.
Yeah, I'll have to put that on later. Alright, there we go.
Cool.
Now I'm live.
Yeah, I'm on here.
Cool. Comics.
Just get that so you get the chatters in the chat, metric going. Yeah, I'm just reading over the script for that right now. Change all the names. I haven't done that yet.
Change all the names? Oh, okay.
In
Gotcha.
the script. I haven't like regendered it. Some culty music in the background for myself. I like that setup when you can do digital, so you just have like your face cam in the corner.
Oh, yeah. Figured that would be a nice little touch. I would like to do that with the traditional stuff too, eventually. I just need to get another camera.
The phone, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. The thing would die so fast.
Oh, you have to keep it plugged in the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do.
I worry about like people calling and stuff, and then it like messes it up. But if I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Just put it on like do not disturb mode. I mean, it's like, do you buy like the extra webcam or do you just buy like the $20 like phone mount? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was my like thought process behind it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can't use my phone for 2 hours while I stream, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that like 3-panel thing is like Jackie going deeper into the the grave.
Yep. So he just doesn't stop talking.
I was listening to there's this comic podcast I listen to called The Comics Collective.
Uh-huh.
And they basically just do what we do, but they also like where they just like talk about a specific thing, like a specific book, but they also do creator interviews.
Yeah.
Like they've had like big names on there. And they were talking with like, this other podcast host about Human Target, and they mentioned this thing about Tom King. Sorry, I'm like also typing as I'm like editing the script. But basically, Tom King was like, yeah, I've been studying um, Ed Brubaker, of course.
Oh my god.
As we all do.
We all
And
study him.
um, and he was Tom King apparently was like, yeah, the thing that Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips do better than anybody is like let the narration actually tell you the story, but not necessarily narrate what's going on.
Yeah.
Like using the juxtaposition
Uh-huh.
of image and caption to like tell the full story rather than like, directly dictating what you're looking at,
Yeah.
Like, which is like seems so obvious, right? But like
Very
I
hard
get
to
like
do.
in the abstract like way that he means it,
Yeah.
like
Just like the perfect marriage of words and pictures.
yeah, like it's like
it's just enough.
it's like abstract, it's like
Yeah.
the idea of like the cooler shop, like guy looking at camera, and then cut to a bowl of soup, and then you're like, oh, he's hungry, like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
share one idea, like add an image to it, and it takes on a new meaning, like, which again is obvious, but like hearing like the experts break it down, yeah, like, oh, they still feel like they could learn and get better at that, and I was like, oh, I should probably be doing that better too,
Always be a student, man. Always be a student. I saw one thing about it was a musician, I forget who it was, I'm pretty sure it was like a metal guitar player, and he was just like, if you're in the studio doing the same thing over and over again, you're not gonna grow. Like, you need to be bad when you're in the studio, basically. He's just like, you need to experiment every single time, so you're pushing yourself every time, rather than, just like doing the comfort thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that definitely makes a lot of sense. I mean, so if you just keep doing the same like beats over and over again, just like as a drummer, like you're not gonna get better at doing fills, just like the same thing with like guitar playing and stuff. If you keep doing the same notes and stuff over and over again,
Yeah.
And it's same with art, same with everything, same with being a plumber, same with whatever. It's all the same.
I would also like add to that, like, not only should you be like doing different things with like your own art, but like also experiencing different art. Like,
Yes.
Don't just like nestle into your comfort zone of like, oh, I just listen to fucking the same album over and over again, or I like, read the same type of book over and over again.
Yeah.
Like,
read good books, read bad books.
Listen to music that you would never listen to normally.
Yep. Dude, I've been listening to a lot of Susie and the Banshees recently. I know it's not like different than what I've been listening to, but
no, but Susie's great.
Yeah, I was just like, one of her songs came on, or one of their songs came on when I was at the gym or whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to them, strictly them. And then I was just running for miles, and every single song that came on was just like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, like on my feet.
Yeah, me and Gray listened to a lot of Susie and the Banshee on the way up to Pittsburgh.
It was great.
They ruled. They were like so good at covers.
Dude, yes, the Iggy Pop and the Stooges.
Yeah,
it was so good with the horn section and everything. I was like, dude, what?
Yeah, their cover of "Dear Prudence" by the Beatles.
Yep.
Is really good.
Yep.
Yeah, they do these two rules.
The best.
I'm going over. So, just while I'm watching you kind of pencil, I'm looking at the dialogue for that. Do you think it plays better without the dialogue?
With her talking?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it works with the dialogue. I think it adds that extra comedy bit,
Yeah.
Because it's just like it can be a separate. Like,
are you like? Well, I'm just like, yeah, like
know.
For the framing of that. Are you thinking of like popping those bubbles into like Kazumi's space?
Yeah, basically.
And out of the panels. Yeah,
it's gonna be leading to her, basically.
I also yeah, now that I'm looking at it and saying that out loud, that like actually works comedically.
Yeah.
So that like her actions are in one bubble, but like the intrusiveness of her speech is in
Yeah.
Kazumi's panel.
And she's just
I think
like,
that's
what the
really
hell? Stop talking.
well, because like what we can do is like play it off where like you go like top left like Kazumi's thought, and then like kind of break
Yeah.
it down, like ladder them, like
Yeah.
like come down a bit,
Uh-huh.
and then come down. Like so, in between those bubbles, you're just like doodling like that.
Oh
On the
yeah.
left side would be where the
It could
caption,
be
like the
like
narration
this,
is.
and then thought bubble kind of thing, and then or
Yeah.
even one of those like thought bubble things with all the little clouds and stuff. Could bring that back. I don't see that a lot in comics
I was
anymore.
I was just listening to people talk about the Dark Knight Returns and basically being the book that killed that,
Yeah.
which I never like thought about. But something crazy I learned about Dark Knight Returns that I never realized was Tim Drake died in the main continuity
Uh-huh.
after Dark Knight Returns.
Really?
Yeah, so like the whole thing is like Batman grieving over, Tim Drake's death, and like that's why he puts down the cowl, right?
Yeah.
For like 20 years. And fucking DC was like, that's a really good idea.
We should do
And then
that. Yeah.
they put that into the fucking,
Yeah.
the comics. And
Of
I
course they
like
did.
never realized it happened in that order. I just assumed like, the 80s are just one big jumble. Like for me, I don't really know that much about 80s comics except for like the new stuff, not like the, popular stuff.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows Dark Knight Returns and like basically everything the British invasion writers were doing and Frank Miller and all that. Like,
Yeah. And also Frank Miller doing like RoboCop, like the movie script and stuff.
yeah.
That's so cool, man. Just like, yeah, I'm in Hollywood now. I'm doing this weird movie called RoboCop. Which I don't know. Did the comic come first, or did the movie come first? Because I know he wrote for both. Pretty sure.
Look that up. RoboCop was conceived in the early 80s by Universal Pictures junior story executive and aspiring screenwriter Edward Neumeier. Fan of robot-themed sci-fi, Neumeier had developed an interest in mature comic books while researching them for potential adaptation. Blade Runner came into play. Neumeier came across a student video by aspiring director Michael Miner. The pair met and discussed their concepts. Miner said that he had an idea called Super Cop, and then they turned it into RoboCop.
What?
I don't see Frank Miller anywhere here.
I thought Frank Miller made RoboCop. Weird. Been wrong this whole time.
See. Maybe he just did a comic book. No, he wasn't even on those.
What?
Yeah, so the creator was Alan Grant, and then Lee Sullivan was the artist. Simon Furman also wrote it. Let me see if Full F's and Frank Miller. Oh, so Frank Miller did a miniseries for Dark Horse called RoboCop vs. the Terminator with Walt Simonson.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
Oh, and then after that, a decade later, it got sold to Avatar Press. And then Frank Miller did a 9-issue mini. And then the series was personally overseen by Frank Miller based on his own unused screenplay for RoboCop 2 and notes for RoboCop 3.
Okay.
It was written by Stephen Grant. So he just like created it and then had Stephen Grant write the whole series.
Got you.
So it was RoboCop 2.
Got you. Either way, Frank Miller's a boss. So
Yeah. I don't agree with his politics, but I really enjoy his comics.
yeah, yeah.
We'll have to do like Man Without Fear or like Born Again.
hmm
I mean, we can do his solo stuff like Sin City as well, but
I'm pretty sure. I think I have all the Sin City books, but yeah.
I do not. I read the first one like torrented
Oh,
on my
gotcha.
laptop.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like I said before, it was Edward McKay's used bookstore that I found literally all of those Sin City books that I have. They were like dirt cheap. Like five. I think one was like $5 or something. In perfect
Crap.
condition.
I was just looking at the list of the spreadsheet you made. It's a lot.
Yeah, well, I just threw everything on there that we said, and then obviously you can like drag whatever you want to the top or add whatever.
Ooh, we need a Blood Force Trauma on here probably.
Okay, yeah, put that on there.
Oh, I'm view only on here. It's okay.
Oh, you are. I'll fix it later.
Yeah, no worries. We got plenty to look at and work with.
Yeah. Dude, I'm ready to see what Bailey's got for her thing.
No, she was like decently far in.
Yeah. I'm excited. Hopefully they come out next weekend or something.
I would like that.
Yeah, same. And then go over the hotel idea again, because he never responded to me about that.
So he was just like, he asked you basically, like, how would you feel about sharing the room with us?
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, yeah, for sure. I didn't get the room yet, and also the Westin isn't super insane expensive. He's like, yeah, it's crazy, blah blah blah. But if we split it between like the four of us, it would be way better. I was like, yeah, sure, just let. That's when I went to you, and then I was like, all right, just let us know, like we're all down. And then it's nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of his communication style.
It was so funny. But like before, he was just like, hey, by the way, I'm like working on thumbnails right now and stuff, so just to avoid the dad conversation, like I'm working on it. It's like, it's all good, dude. I just want to make sure everyone's doing it. So
Yeah. I was also reading through like all the minis that I had like wrote like for you. Like obviously like we're not gonna get to the Spider-Man one like anytime
for a
soon.
while, yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't bother me. But like I was looking, I read the John Wick one
Uh-huh.
again, and like I was like, oh, this is actually good. And like I was very pleased with the fact that we had John Wick only say 2 words the
Yeah.
entire. It's Cinnabon and then yeah, and that's it. There
And
are
it's
no
just
other
like the
words.
movies, man. He only says like 2 things, kills everybody. Yeah. Are you pissed off, John? Yeah. That's the last word he says in the third movie.
Yeah.
In the second movie, it just opens up with him killing everyone, and then he has a truce with was it Vigo's brother?
Mm-hmm.
Does a man like you know peace? And then he says it in Russian. Just like, why not? God, love those movies.
Yeah, they're all on, except for the fourth one, they're all on Netflix now.
Oh, really? No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just need to.
I watched another episode of fucking Too Old to Die Young,
Oh yeah,
and it's very good.
it's very good.
It just like opens up like the third episode because we watched the first two, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
The third episode just like opens up with a dude like putting a body. It's John Hawkes, that like indie actor who's in a bunch of shit.
Uh
Who's like really good. He like puts a body in his trunk, like because he's like a hitman,
huh. Uh huh.
and like is driving and his like car runs out of gas, so he like veers off into an alleyway, and then there's like a gang fight going on across the alleyway, and like shots get fired, but he just like runs away. And then Miles Teller like is like the cop in the show, right? And he
Yeah.
like sees he's like investigating the murder, and then like it comes up that like John Hawkes is like ex FBI, and like got like pancreatic cancer and like left like the FBI for an extended period of time.
Uh huh.
And then like there's like this strange woman who's like a mystical healer who's working with the hitman, and like basically Miles Teller just like goes on the investigation and tracks everything down, and it's like great. And then like Miles Teller's also a hitman in that show, right? And so he like kills somebody, and then he just like finds John Hawkes the hitman. He's just like, I'm not gonna arrest you, I just want to talk. And then like they go to a diner, and he's just like, I kill people too. I just like killed a woman, and then I watched her kids like sleep. How do you deal with it, man? He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, huh. And it just like ends. And like I guess the premise of the rest of the show is that they're just hitmen together. Like,
What?
yeah.
How do you do it? I don't know. You want to? I guess I got another target.
Let's go do some killing. It's like, and it's gonna tie in to the shit in Mexico with the like cartel family.
Oh.
I don't know the exact scope of it. I just know that that's coming, and so I'm like, oh, this just got really interesting.
You know, it's funny. My mom's been watching. What's it called? Griselda.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's Sofia Vergara.
Oh yeah.
And she's like the cocaine dealer or whatever. Yeah, my mom's just like, have you seen this? It's so good. she was trying to get my grandma to watch it with her. It was
Everybody
funny.
loves badass action shit.
Yeah, and dude, like Sofia Vergara is just like playing this woman. They put like makeup on her and stuff to make her face a little different, and I didn't realize it was her until like she said stuff. She was like talking. I was like, that sounds a lot like that beautiful actress. And then I looked it up. I was like, no shit, that's crazy. So. But it's got a really good color palette, though, I will say, that show.
Hell yeah.
Do you like it? I mean, it's based in, like, the 70s, so... Before she gets, like, murdered on a freaking hit and run kind of thing. It's just crazy. Have you seen Kill the Irishman?
No.
That's with what's his name? That he passed away recently, but he was the Punisher in Warzone, and in the other guys.
Yeah, Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, Ray Stevenson. He plays the Irishman, in that, and it's like based off the um, was something Green. Forget his first name, but he like basically was like an Irishman that was fighting with the Italian mafia in like New York or whatever.
Yeah.
And basically helped like bring them down.
Danny Green.
Danny Green, yeah.
Oh, D'Onofrio and Kilmer in this. I think my parents had this on DVD, and it was just like in my house a lot. This is a movie that like very much seemed like something I would enjoy.
Yeah, I remember watching it back in like high school or whatever, and I definitely had a good time watching it. But it's definitely, from what I can remember, because I've only, I only saw it in that high school era, right? But from what I can remember, it was a good time.
Have you heard about this new Jason Statham movie that's out?
The Beekeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's apparently amazing.
No way, dude. What?
Like, because it's just like Jason Statham like killing people and like using bee puns.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's what we
It's directed
want.
by David Ayer, who did Suicide Squad.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But he also did that movie Fury about the tank with Johnny Bernthal and Shia LaBeouf.
I know. Was Brad Pitt in that one too?
Yeah.
I never watched that. I always
That
wanted
movie's
to.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd like that one a lot. He also directed that movie End of Watch, which is like the Jake Gyllenhaal cop movie where it's like shot with GoPros and it's like super gritty and crazy.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's really good. So he does a lot of like pretty good action movies. So this seems up his alley.
Okay.
I've heard like specifically that the Suicide Squad like actually fell apart because of studio intervention.
That's always the case. So.
I don't know how much I trust him for it to be that much better, but I believe that it could probably be better. It's just so many fucking people, like
Yeah.
so many characters.
Yeah. Oh. Who was that?
That was Sam. He popped in and out for a second.
Oh, okay. There he is.
Yes, hello. You guys have me for half an hour. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, we're just shooting the shit, talking about random movies and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm gonna leave because I only talk about serious stuff like where do babies come from. No, stuff
That's
like
true. That's true.
What are those birds? The
Storks?
huh?
Storks?
Storks. Yes. I was gonna
More
be
like
like
dorks.
orchids. No, that's not.
That's not. That's not it. That's not it.
Don't know why that popped in my head. Anyway, yeah. So,
Mm,
boom. Serious talk. Now we can talk, Sam.
now we can talk. Hello,
Dude.
boys.
Howdy, howdy.
that Murph sculpt you got going on is so cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's very cool. Like it's in a way that I think I won't realize until after I'm done. You know, like because I did another project. You may recall I tried to last year sculpt one of Pete Moorbacher's paintings.
Yeah, I
Couple of
remember
things.
that.
Number one is that a painting's only from one angle.
Right.
And that's really and Pete himself warned me about that. It's sort of like he's like, just so you know, when you're doing a single painting, like you're not thinking that much all the time about like how does this piece fit together. It looks cool. With a comic, like I have like, God knows how many panels to work off of.
Right.
But the other things I've just gotten better since then too. And so like there's a lot where I'm like, I don't know exactly, like the cargo pockets, right? I was like, I don't know exactly what this is, but I'm gonna try. And my ability to experiment is a lot easier than it used to be because I'm so comfortable with the software. So
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, a lot of the stuff that's coming up is just it's a very nice, coherent piece. Like it's a thing that even if you don't know who Murph is, it'll still look like a cool sculpt. But if you do know who Murph is, it'll be like especially cool to see this adapted into what looks like a figurine, basically.
Oh yeah.
So BT Dubs. So Manny, you saw I just got a couple of comics, a couple of DWJ
Yeah,
comics. I got Powerbomb finally.
yeah.
Um, and then this one that I hadn't heard of, but Kevin, I was thinking of you because I stopped by Collector's Paradise, the one on Lancashire in North Hollywood. And it's a great shop. Yeah, it's not as big as their original location, but it's pretty good. And the front desk worker, she was like, "Oh my God, huge nerd." You like, that's I say that with
With
as
love.
much praise.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, with as
strongly
much.
doubt it, but was it like the very like tall, gorgeous redhead?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's crazy that she's been there that long. Because she was like there every time I went into the shop before. Maybe she like owns it or something. I don't know.
That's where you got Bitch
Yeah.
Planet and stuff?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
Bitch Planet there. I got a bunch of Brubaker books there.
Yeah.
I got like some
Well,
of the Sex
and
Criminals
so
volumes.
yeah, so she and I spoke. Speaking of Bitch Planet and Kelly Sue DeConnick, we talked a
Yes.
little bit about Wonder Woman Historia, which is like one of like that whole thing's a trip if you guys haven't read it.
I have not.
I have it. I
Phil,
haven't cracked it open yet.
Phil Jimenez is the artist for it, and he is. I recommend looking him up. He's hot. He's gay, and he's like a big bear. He's like he's one of those gay guys that like
yeah.
it's a gold stim. You know what
I
I mean?
remember, yeah, you showed me him, and I was like, I like this dude's vibe. I'm gonna follow this guy.
Yeah. He also seems if he is like the people that I know who look like that, he's also probably the nicest human being on the planet
Yeah.
and like a phenomenal artist. But anyway, she recommended Wonder Woman Dead Earth, and I had never heard of this book.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't know. Yeah, and so she said if Murder Falcon made you cry, Power Bomb's gonna do that, and then Wonder Woman will. And the way she put
Yeah.
it was like there are at least 3 scenes in Wonder Woman Dead Earth that I wish I could relive for the first time, and I was like, that's really cool. And both of the vibes are very like. At this point, guys, I'm so spoiled with Daniel Warren Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of good comics. I have a lot of comics I got to get through, but right now, it's a bit of like when you have an artist who just like speaks to you, you just go back to that water, right? Like you just want to keep drinking from that water. And like I flipped through Powerbomb. I grew up with wrestling, so she's like, "Oh yeah, then you're really gonna cry." There's like a bunch of great cry. And I'm just like, there's something about the art is it's so dynamic that I just and then of course and she and I also talked about like it's not just Dan, it's Mike Spicer, right? Because she's like,
dude.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that Dan's style is so funky that you need a Mike Spicer to make it work. And I was like, yeah, that's anyway. I'm like, actually not gonna do too much sculpting today. I'm actually taking a break to do some rendering tests to get ready for that stage. And then I'm just gonna read these. I'm like so stoked.
That's so cool. Yeah, those are such good books, man. Wonder Woman Dead Earth, especially, that like when I got that, because it's also in that magazine format where it's like a lot bigger and stuff. Just like seeing Dan's stuff even like bigger up close and everything was really cool. And again, Mike Spicer's colors, but also just like the tone of that book is fantastic. Because I know when he talked to people in his interviews, he was like, we have those like great Superman books, we got the great like Dark Knight books, but like what is the Dark Knight for Wonder Woman? And he was just like, I want to make something that's a one shot with Wonder Woman, and I want to make it cool as like he wants to make it awesome to the point to where it's just like a Dark Knight book or whatever.
Yeah.
So he was just like, I'm gonna make the best Wonder Woman book that I can make, and this is what I had. Like, this was the idea that I wanted to do, and it only worked with Wonder Woman. And yeah, and it's awesome. I loved it so much.
There's also something that like I hadn't really thought of until now, that why I've been scared of comics for the longest time is that it feels like I am so behind, if that makes sense. Like it feels like getting into a show like 4 seasons in. And so what I like about these limited series or these smaller volumes is that it feels manageable.
Yes.
I do want to clarify that like I'm down for the long series as well, but it's just with the life I have, it feels much more accessible to pick like a single trait that says like this is the entire universe and of this particular story, and then
I totally agree with you too.
yeah.
Totally agree.
100%, and that's why DC is also like winning the battle of the
Yep.
big two currently,
Yep.
because of Black Label, because they're just like, they know that like auteur artists like Dan and like Kelly Sue and all these great people that they can bring in for that, like, draw names in, and also like don't have to like have any bearing on the normal continuity. And so
Yeah.
like they get like people who would not normally read comics reading these series, very much like the Barnes and Noble crowd. You know, as yucky as that sounds to a lot of comic book fans, it's kind of like necessary to keep the industry alive.
It's funny. Actually went to Barnes last night. I just like kind of, it was the only bookstore that was open, and I just had a really stressful day at work, so I wanted to go to the store. I didn't plan to buy anything because I would, you know, if I'm gonna buy a comic, I'm gonna buy it from my local store. But it was still, but I know exactly what you mean. Is like everything on the shelf, with a few notable exceptions, were like these volume limited universe things, right? Because that's like no one's going to Barnes and it's like, oh, here's issue 36 of like
Yeah,
some
exactly.
Marvel run of the Avengers or whatever, and it's like I don't know how to approach it that way. Yeah, so so speaking of other kind of limited series and volumes, they didn't have Extremity, but they had it at another of the stores, so they're gonna send it over next week and give me a call or send me an email when it's ready. And then I also want to read The Last Ronin. That I keep hearing about it,
Oh, yeah.
and they had that at Barnes last night. I flipped through it, got really teary-eyed at several points, and then I got specifically, it was the like director's cut with all like where the latter half is just concept sketches and writing,
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
and it's so and like one note, like I had an obvious page of the book is it should be ambiguous which Ninja Turtle it is, right?
Yeah.
And I like that. I think that's so cool. And so I also have to say, with respect vis-a-vis my Murph sculpt, is part like 10 to 20% of the motivation for me getting into these comics is there something I can sculpt? Can you imagine me doing a sculpt of the Last Ronin, like the Ninja Turtle? Like,
get out of my
that'd be
face. That would be so cool. What are you doing to me, Sam? What are you doing to us, Sam?
It's weird to me that I'm so okay. I'll just say it, but like then I'm gonna qualify it that I'm good at sculpting. When I say good, I don't mean I have so much more to go, right? But like we all do as artists. But my ability to sculpt, to express myself visually through it as a medium, is like, this is what I always wanted out of drawing, but drawing never gave that to me. Like that's what you have, Manny, with drawing, right? Is like it's the way you draw transcends good and bad. I mean, it's all good in this like very general sense of like, given the particular stories and characters you want to express, you nail it, right? And you are also very technically proficient. Doesn't mean that you're like a master and like that there's no room for improvement. Of course not. But you've gone past the point where it's just like you fumbling with the tool. I don't know how. I haven't even sculpted for a year, but for some reason sculpting just works in my hands.
Clicking.
And it feels really cool to use that skill to pay homage. Like the whole thing of sculpting comic book characters is so cool to me, because it's like, I don't think people read a comic needing those characters to, like, you know, no, it's similar to like, no one sits down and watches a Disney animated movie from the classic era and is like, this needs to be live action, but then Disney kept making them and they all suck, right?
Yep.
So no one's reading. I don't think anyone read Murder Falcon and was like, "Oh, this really needs to be a sculpture," but with maybe a few exceptions. But for some reason, when I do it, it feels like, so far anyway, it feels like, I don't know. It's like it's a tribute and not just like a thing that needed to happen or something. If that makes sense, like my Murph sculpt is I'm adding something. Like there's a Sam Lamb is adding something to the idea, right? It's not just me adding the character.
And like also with you going through all of the like the fundamentals, like all those workshops that you took over the past few years, handful of years in doing 2D stuff, I feel like that also helped you out in understanding form and everything, and then you just translating all that knowledge into the 3D realm, into that 3D, medium. And I feel like that's definitely benefited you as well. But it's also clicking with you too, like this form stuff, and just playing with it.
I think that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. I actually, so earlier, like a few seconds ago, I just said like I've only been sculpting for like less than a year, but that's not true, right? The actual tool I'm using, yes, I'm new to, but all of this exists on a foundation of years in the making, right? Of like me understanding anatomy, form, design, all this shit has come to a head. And it does feel though that like when you find that tool that works for you, you're like, oh, finally I can get all the shit out of my head. Like just like get it onto the screen or the page or whatever. And that's really, I think as an artist, there's always going to be a moment or we're always going to come back to a moment where we're like, fuck, this is just, I can't get this out. But I find that used to be like 95% of my art experience, and now it's more like 15% of it. And the rest of it is like, there were a few things with the sculpt that like the shoelaces were actually kind of hard for me to make, which like in my defense, that shit is it's like funky. But like most of the chucks that I made, that was really straightforward. Like I didn't have to like look up a resource. I just understood how to make them. And that to me is really cool. Like that to me is like way cooler. Is like, what the fuck? Like how did that happen? I don't even know.
What the fuck? It's because you love chucks. That's what it is.
Well, I literally had mine next to me when I was working on it.
Yeah, I saw that. You like sent me like a shot of your desk or whatever, and I saw all those comics. It was the reference. You had Pure F up.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of them. Yeah.
That's so great. Love it. I can't wait to see that, man. Are you gonna do like a sculpt or like a 3D print of some of the stuff that you've been doing, or what? What do you think?
I feel like I have to try. So I do want to just acknowledge, since we are on stream right now, right? Question mark. Is this is not my IP. So I have to be careful about how much I do with it, Having said that, I highly doubt that my employer or Dan would be really pissed, because I'm not gonna make money off of this. Like that's not even.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want that, but I wouldn't be able to. But that doesn't answer your question. But it partly answers your question of like getting it to 3D print might take a lot of work, and I guess the question is it work that I want to undertake? I actually think that I overestimate how hard it is to 3D print something like this. Like, it's like that commission I made. I expected it to have to iterate on it multiple times. I was like, I've never done this, so surely my topology fucking sucks. And the 3D printer, he's very experienced. He actually did have to adjust a little bit, but for the most part, it worked fine. He's like, yeah, this is like, there's like one little thing here in the mesh where I need to just smooth it out, and otherwise it's fine. But that was really, I know it was a simple design. It was that fist, but it was still very, like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't as crazy as I think. There's also websites where you can actually run a model through, and it'll like tell you what you need to fix. So I haven't played with that yet. But I think the big thing is I just don't have a 3D printer, so it's like it would be nice to. But I think I mentioned to you that there's this guy who has a funky like metal occult comic shop in my neighborhood called Necroplasm. Yeah, and is this really cool guy who's like from the hood, this like just big Mexican dude with like tattoos, and is a guitarist. He works in Hollywood, which is like kind of his connection to all this. But he has a 3D printer at the shop, and he's like, oh dude, like definitely stop by. I was like, yeah, I'll pay for the resin or whatever. If I could just like play with this, that would be great. He's like, yes, absolutely, yeah, stop by. So maybe I'll just do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just saying, like, for you, like, not to sell it and stuff, but just for you to have, like, these sculpts that you've done, and just like have them on. You're like, okay, I did this, I did that, I did, because that would look so cool to have a shelf with all of the sculpts you've been making over the years, you know?
Yeah.
At least, I don't
I
know. I
will,
would do that.
I will say that this Murph sculpt is of the sculpts I've done is the one that is most likely to be 3D printable.
Yeah.
Because my topology on this is really hygienic. So when I refer to typology, I think you guys have a sense of what that means. But like with sculpting and modeling, it all comes down to like the wireframe of it. If the topology sucks, it's really hard to honestly do anything with it. Like you can't put it into a game. It's hard to 3D print. This is all math essentially. You're telling the computer where the vertices are, and so when you get into sculpting, it's like like I didn't think that much about it, especially because I'm not doing stuff that's supposed to be rigged in a video game or a movie or something. And so it just needs to look good enough. However, I found that even for me as a hobbyist, you have to care about topology at some point. There's just sometimes when you're working on something where if your topology sucks, it just won't cooperate. It's a bit like a very loose analogy is like you where you have modeling clay, if you don't heat it up, it just won't be pliable. Sometimes if the topology sucks, it's too dense. For example, literally, if you try to sculpt into it, nothing will happen because there's too many vertices. And so I kind of got forced into just by dint of working on this stuff. I got forced into caring about it. But also, I like the challenge. Like I like the idea of like, damn, this topology looks good, and I want to show it off. So throughout this project, I've really taken it slow and tried to make every element as clean as possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if you could, except for his headband, which obviously like that would break off almost immediately.
Yeah.
Most of this is pretty solid. Like it could be, it could probably be 3D printable. Probably not the wings, which I'm gonna do, but like I think the mech arm once I do it will probably be fine.
Yeah, dude, so cool.
I'm an artist.
It's true. I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
That's like what one of the professors I had is Michael Grady. He was like a very old, like interesting guy. He was very much into being an illustrator when he was younger, from what he told me and everything, and very like he would talk in a strange manner, like almost like philosophical, and just he had a really deep voice like this, and he would talk about how frivolous things were and all that, and he kind of looked like a Santa Claus. But he looked at my stuff and we were talking, and I just talked about how I wanted to be like concept artist and wanted to get in like the entertainment industry kind of thing, doing this kind of stuff. And he saw my stuff, looking at pages that I made and everything, and then one day he was just like, "You're an artist." He was just looking at me, "You're an artist. Sorry." I was just like, I never said that I was, but okay.
But I know. By the way, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm asking because I'm actually rendering a turnaround video, and my computer must be so good. Because even for pros, when you're rendering something, usually you're like the rest of your machine starts to shut down. So that's I yay for having a state of the art PC. But that reminds me of by analogy an experience I had as a climber, where when I went to the Middle East, like during law school, I went to go work with some refugees, but it was basically like a 9 to 5 thing, and I got to go do my own personal touristy stuff while I was there. It was in Jordan, and I found a climbing gym that was right outside of town, and so I go there, and you have to get tested, right, to see where you're at with climbing, or to see that you actually even know climbing. He's like, "Why don't we try on the bouldering wall first?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he's like, "All right, so go ahead and try climbing." And then I literally just get off the ground onto the start holds, and before I can even make the first move, he's like, "You're good." I was like, "Wait, what? You don't want to see me climb?" He's like, "I can tell by the way you got on the wall that you're a climber," and I feel like that's what he was saying to you. It's sort of like, "Yeah, sorry, like you're an artist." Like all three of us are like that. The way we talk about ourselves, our lives, these mediums, like I think it's like clear that we're artists. And I will say this year more than ever, I feel that way about myself. Like I feel like I can't even like be falsely humble. Like it would actually be insane. It would be basically lying at this point to be like, oh, I'm not an artist. It's like, what other credentials do you need, Sam? Like what? I don't know what other
Yeah.
affirmation you would need. Like but it's not even about the credentials. It's about the way that I talk about all of this, right? It's like I'm very much an artist.
Yeah. You're here. You're here to stay. You ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we are fucked because
Yeah.
being an artist is not easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too late now. Can't turn back.
Ugh, the worst.
The worst. Oh yeah, boy. All right, cool. Got those panels penciled in. Let's go.
Hell yeah. And just that conversation made me laugh, just because I had the exact same thing in film school. Basically, the directing staff was just like, you don't really have a style. You don't have a unique voice, which was just like crazy to me. And then like my writing teacher was just like, he is a writer. Basically, like, you clearly have not read anything he's written, because I read it and I go, this person's a writer. We will take him in the writing department. He actually sounded like that. He was this like very, very flamboyant, like 70-year-old black man who wore like cowboy boots and like 4 polos like of different colors layered on top of each other, and like, yeah, he would just always. He was funny. His line was always, "Nothing is ever good or bad in this classroom. It either works or it doesn't work."
Is he so what's his deal? Is he single or
No, I think he's partnered. I could never really tell, because as flamboyant as his attitude and general energy was, I could not tell you what his, sexuality entailed at all.
Yeah, so yes, it's like it's like in the modeling and art and creative spaces, it's like the game is, are they European, just an artist, or gay? And one can be multiple of those.
Yeah, there's a Venn diagram for sure.
Some of the most flamboyant people I know are like cis heterosexual male artists who just like, because they're theater kids, but they're straight.
Yeah, and this guy literally did run the theater department of like a small town in like Western North Carolina. I went to see a lot of his plays. His name was Ron Stacker Thompson.
Ron Stacker Thompson. What a name.
Yeah, we all called him Stacker.
But I remember you telling a story one time that you wrote a script specifically to hear him act out the characters, right?
Yeah, so our freshman year of screenwriting class, we would always have to turn in like short film scripts, like 3 to 7 pages, and he would always read all of the narrations, and then we would cast the voice acting amongst all the students. But once I realized how funny it was to hear him read the things I was writing, I just kept upping the ante week over week. And like one of our prompts was like to write a character who has a moment of discovery, and so it was like about a struggling writer writing like a reinterpretation of like the Marquis de Sade, and like he's sitting like on his laptop in a cafe, and then this old woman approaches him and starts talking to him about like how she used to be like a whore back in the day, and like was like really into like gangbangs with clowns and shit, and like just all this fucking crazy shit that like I could just come up with, like, and just vile like grotesque things, and having him read it was just the funniest experience of my life. And like I would just come up with scripts like that all the time. Oh, look at that! There's an article about him from my fucking the university's website. I'll put it in general chat.
Oh wow.
I see.
I wish that you could see his feet, because he was always wearing snakeskin cowboy boots.
Dude, what? I've honestly been thinking about getting cowboy boots.
Oh, he's very handsome. I like that room he's in.
That's his office. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in there.
That guy
Um,
looks great. Look at him.
yeah, he turned 70 my sophomore year of college.
Oh wow. Dang.
Dude,
What? He does not look
black does
70.
Yeah,
black does
he was.
not crack. Black.
He's
Yeah, the like dean came running in with like a cake when I was sitting in there with his mentor meeting, and I
what?
was like, "How old are you, Zach?" And he's like, "I'm turning 70 today." It's just like,
What?
what?
Oh boys, I'm gonna jump off. I have a regular catch-up phone call with my friends, and I love you.
All right.
Um,
Sounds
and
good.
if you're still on later, I might jump on. Okay,
All right.
bye. Love you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Yeah. Oh shit! There's a clip of him on NPR in the or not NPR, but like the local NPR WUNC.
Uh huh.
There's audio of his voice.
Oh man.
Just like scroll through.
Oh, it's on there. Uh, uh, uh.
What a gem.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I wonder what's going on with my old mentor, Bill May. Um, he's like so invisible.
What do you mean?
Like I can't find anything about him. Ah, William H. May. Found a link about him. Can't. I just want to know if he's still alive.
Oh, was he an older dude?
Yeah, he was real old. He retired, like, right after I was done.
Oh wow.
And, like, I sent him an email of, like, hey, I wrote this script. Like, what do you think? And he was just like, I'm retired.
Oh wow.
This is, like, literally all it said.
I'm retired. I don't want to read this.
I was just like, fair. Fucking. I was like, just kind of like, finally, I've like finished outlining basically most of the Blaze script and like outlining by like page over page, just like making sure it all paced right
Uh-huh.
and everything. And now I'm like actually writing it.
Yeah.
And I just keep like circling back to the scene with corpse fucker in the garage carving up the elk,
Uh-huh.
and it's just my favorite scene. And I'm like, I know this doesn't have to be in the script, but I want it here so bad.
I mean, the fun needs to be there, Kevin.
Yeah, I feel less restricted by like page count right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm obviously keeping it in mind. I'm not trying to make this like overly long,
Mhm.
like, you know, trying to be have as much fun as I can.
Yeah. Good. Good,
But
good.
I'm just laboring over it. And then like I wrote I wrote it, and I was like, I don't know. And then like I rewrote a new sequence to like introduce the band. And I was like, I missed I like the elk scene. It's still my favorite, even though it doesn't like, it's not like the perfect. But then I like looked back at my notes, and I like basically gave like 3 pages for it already in the outline, which is what I had written. And I was like, all right, cool, that's fine with me. 3 pages, and then I like 1 page is him like pulling up the truck and grabbing the carcass, and then the next page is like, you know, gutting the elk, and like the introduction to the band is essentially like the trail of blood through the page,
Yeah.
and like they're all sleeping on like bald mattresses in like a harsh warehouse space, and then it's like, you know, they wake up and it's like, how much of a sleeper are you? He's like, no, he must feed.
Yeah. No.
And then they just like wake up, and you know, they're like scrubbing off the corpse paint from the night before and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I outlined myself like 6 pages to have them like wake up and talk about what happened and like flashback to the night before and all that.
Nice.
So that seems like pretty reasonable pacing.
Yeah.
But of course, like I don't know. So much of this was just me noodling notes that I haven't like done like raw writing in a while. So like actually writing pages has been nice. Feels good again.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah,
how it is
proud
with
of
like
that.
penciling. I like just haven't done it in so long. It was what it feels like. Feels like a long time, even though it hasn't. But
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I think I nailed this fucking first page right here. Exterior Church Dawn. Well, issue 1, Unholy Black Metal. Page
Yeah.
1, Exterior Church Dawn. Panel 1, either full page or 2/3. Um, centuries old Catholic church towers a crest an icy mountaintop, its snow-capped, time-worn spires jutting into the morning fog. A police car is parked near its entrance, with tracks leading to its final resting position. 2 priests, Bjorkstad and Ackerfeld, in modest robes, deliberate with 2 police officers in the threshold of the church's oversized wooden doors. Across from the church's snowed-over gravel parking lot are the remnants of the previous night's malfeasance. Spray-painted pentagrams and inverted crosses, manger recreation dolls beheaded and strewn about, crumpled beer cans, piss and blood sprays everywhere. Over top the chaos, the priests recount their side of the events. Police Officer 1, and what time do you believe the vandalism occurred? It had to have been after midnight. We had just finished a late-night supply run. And you didn't get a good look at the people who did this? No, but we know who it was. And then put an insert panel of like the beleaguered close-up Father Bjornstad, scorn on his face.
Huh.
It was those damn black metal kids from the village. And then page there. So I was thinking like it could either be like that, the church panel is like just the full page, and then you just do like an insert panel for the close-up,
Uh-huh.
or like do 2/3, like or like 2/3 or 4/5, almost like 3/4, most of the page, and then just do like dialogue panels
Uh-huh.
with like the close-ups. Either way, I think it would work.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like up to you. Um, so
Yeah.
doing more like I feel like a lot of like what I want to do with kind of the pieces of the story that are like dialogue recounting things and like flashbacks of like what happened before, things like that, like I think would be cooler as inserts over like page spreads rather than like just panels. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think I'm getting what you're saying.
Like you have one major image kind of that's like the full background, but then just like put in panels,
Uh-huh.
like just not necessarily make it like into a grid, but just kind of pop them in where it would like make sense.
Yeah.
And like do kind of like weirder panel shapes to like cut out those like moments,
Uh-huh.
like especially when they're like trying to figure out what happened the night before and they're like thinking about it, and instead of making it like a square panel shape, like you do it kind of fucked up and jagged.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Kind
like
of just like
that's
fragments
all-
of
Yeah, exactly. Like literal fragments of memories that are fragments of like images,
got
like,
you. Yeah.
quite literally like splintered up like shattered glass pieces.
Yeah. They could just be like torn. I could do like torn pages, and, like
Yeah.
literally tear up
And, like
pieces of pages and like put them on the page, and then have to draw it in, kind of thing.
yeah, it could even be cool like if you like put in those like visible like small like tape marks like in
Yeah.
zines,
Yeah.
you know.
I definitely do want to do that. Is it like looking at Daniel Warren Johnson's like commissions and stuff? He'll put like pieces of tape on like things that he had to redraw or like print out and redraw, and then he puts it on the page, and he'll use like really bright red tape or just tape or sometimes white tape to blend it in, but it can be like really in your face sometimes, but it still looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think texture is going to go a long way with this book,
Oh yeah.
especially because it's going to be mostly black and white.
Yep. I agree. It will be awesome.
I was just like falling asleep on the couch the other night, and I was just like looking up like black metal videos and like just different things, and like this whole like the like black metal reaction videos popped up in the suggestions, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And like there is specific, you know, I was expecting just people to be like, I hate this, like obviously, 'cause it's like not
Yeah.
approachable music at all. And there's like this one guy who was just like, yeah, like I love like metalcore and like tech death and like all this stuff. And like he was like listening to like black metal, and he was just like, the production is so bad, like it's all just like so muddy and like noisy, and like all this music is so depressing. I like I could expect like the blast beats and like the like goblin voice screaming to be off-putting to people, but I did not expect people saying this is sad to be the thing that's off-putting, which I think is funny. Like he
Interesting.
that, you know, it means like he understood what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, like I am listening to this composition and I'm understanding the point of it. I don't like it. Like I don't like that it's sad and making me feel sad,
Yeah.
which I just like would have never considered, because it's like, I don't know. I also like sad music a lot, and I, you know, I don't ever realize that it's sad until someone tells me. They're like, "This is really sad." I'm like, oh, but it's good. I like it.
Yeah. And then you listen to ska.
I like happy music. I like plenty of happy music.
Yeah.
I like lots of party music, dance music. Yeah. I would never describe like Judas Priest as fucking sad. You know,
No.
that's like some of the most upbeat, like fun music in the world. But you know,
Dude, you're breaking the law, man.
breaking the law, breaking the law.
Got another thing coming, man.
Yeah, I'm. If you do decide to come with us whenever we do end up doing Hal's birthday thing, which it would be fun if you did, because it'll be at like this spot in Greensboro called Round One. That's got like bowling and like arcade, and then like private karaoke rooms you can rent.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you're doing karaoke, but you're not doing it in front of a full bar. You're just doing it with your friends. And like, me and Hal were talking about like different karaoke songs. And I was like, what am I gonna do? And then like I was listening to fucking just a bunch of hair metal, and I was like, this is what I need to do for karaoke.
D. Snyder stuff.
Yeah. I need to do like breaking the
266.
law, dude. I need
Yeah.
to do like, you know, that will be so fun.
Dude, I was thinking about the other day, I was like, like playing shows live, and I was like, what are some things that I could probably sing to? And I was just listening to a playlist, and then freaking Dead Leaves on the Dirty Ground came on for the White Stripes, so I was like, I could definitely do something with that, you know, just do some grumbling kind of thing.
Yeah, dude.
Or whatever, and play at the same time. Like, that's definitely something I could do, just to experiment, see if I can do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's up, Brock?
I mean, you could probably do it with the like call and response stuff we used to do with like the garage rock, you know, like
Oh yeah.
the like, give me money, and then that's what I want.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah, I remember doing that. Dang. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been so deep in the frass hole that we haven't like done a lot of our old standards and classics.
Oh, we haven't. Dude, I love the what is it? Meet Me in the City by the Black Keys, which I'm pretty sure is a cover by old blues artists. So I heard it before. I can't remember their name though, but I used to be obsessed with that song. It's so freaking good. It's like nothing crazy, but it's also, I think it's got like 2 guitars in it and stuff, so that'd be kind of hard to do with just us. I'm gonna lurk while I eat dinner. Alright, Brock. You enjoy yourself. You enjoy that dinner.
Kimbrough Jr.
Was that who did it?
Junior Kimbrough, blues musician. In 2023, he was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Born in 1930 in Hudsonville, Mississippi.
Whew. Yeah. It's good. It's a good song. I think the Black Keys just make it a little longer with their version of it.
Here's the link.
Yeah. Gosh. Look at that
It's like his
stash.
colleague R.L. Burnside. Apparently, the most famous cover of this song is Bruce Springsteen.
Really? What?
Yeah.
I didn't know he did that. He did that song. Although I haven't listened to Bruce Springsteen like that, so. I know you had you were listening to him a little bit,
Bruce?
right?
I love Bruce.
Yeah.
My mom's born in New Jersey, man. It's in my blood.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
love Bruce Springsteen.
I had
Unapologetically. It was something I fought with the guys about a lot, honestly. They all made fun of me for liking Bruce Springsteen. They were like, we love Bob Seger. And I was like, you love Seger, but you don't love Springsteen? Like, that broke my brain.
but you don't like Springsteen.
It's the same thing. It's just blue-collar, like, dad rock.
Yeah.
You know?
I had
All of
a
it.
psychologist professor, or psychology professor that in college, and she mentioned that she was like from New Jersey and stuff, and she was like, I love Bruce Springsteen, by the way. But there was a assignment that we had that was basically like almost like a journal entry, but talking about music and what kind of music we listen to and why and stuff. And I was like talking about like Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly or whatever. It's just like when I'm in a certain like state, that's kind of the stuff that I go towards, you know, to like pick myself up a little bit. And but yeah, she would talk about Bruce Springsteen a lot. She was like, if anyone in this class talks bad about my man, I will ask you to leave.
Straight to jail.
But she was great. She was a great teacher. She was cool.
That's a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's he's got a radical following. I mean, my whole family is like pretty nuts about it.
For sure. That's when I learned about it. I was like, okay, so people from New Jersey love this guy.
Well, it's because, like, you know, his music is his music, and like his albums, you know, vary in style and quality. But like his like live shows, he's got that whole band with him, like the E Street Band.
Yeah.
And like they don't just do his songs; they do like covers of like old like blues and soul standards and like rocks covers, and like they're like, you know, they're big. Like he's got a kick-ass band of like all with a horn section and guitarists.
Yeah, dude.
And the whole thing, man. Like it's fucking rad.
Oh yeah. I think my family's like favorite thing was Leonard Skinner.
You know me, I love Skinner.
Yeah. It was Leonard Skinner. My dad loved Pink Floyd. So it was a lot of Pink Floyd, a lot of Leonard Skinner being played in the house. And then of course my sister was getting me into new metal, like Linkin Park and Deftones and stuff.
It was the year 2000. Yeah.
Lots of Linkin Park though. Holy smokes. Oh, so much Linkin Park.
Their music videos were just on MTV all the time.
Yeah. Especially the animated one.
Yeah.
What song was that? I don't remember what that was.
Was it the one for Numb?
Maybe.
Because
It
the
was
one
Writing
for
on
In
the
the End.
Wall. It was.
That's In the End.
In the End. Okay, so yeah, that's what it was. Because there was like an anime, like style. That's what I do remember from that video.
I know that his death like really got a bunch of people. Yeah, they've done a bunch of anime videos apparently.
Dang.
For me, it was just that, you know, those like two albums, Hybrid Theory and Meteora. Those were just like huge.
I don't even remember what albums I listened to, but it was a lot. It was a lot of Linkin Park because my sister would just throw it on. I was like, yeah, this is sick. But I never looked at the name. But I enjoyed it.
Well, I'll be back. I gotta grab Hopper and feed him.
Yeah. Hoo-ha. Okay.
That's Modelo time, fool.
Oh yeah, boy. Actually, I'll just pour myself another glass of deliciousness. That's what I'll do. Just some Four Roses. It's no big deal.
Oh, that's a day drinking, liquor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's your daily sip. That's not a special occasion sip. That's just a nice sip to have, whenever you need a sip.
Yeah. Well, we're at 323 subscribers on the YouTubes, man.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's, yeah.
What are your total views looking like these days? 9,000.
Is that what it says?
9,732 views for your whole channel.
Dang. I mean, a lot, because a lot of that I feel like is from when I did I did that Carl book, and I did like the progress on it, and then I did the Doctor Disrespect fan piece, and then he reposted it on Twitter or something a while ago. But then recently, a lot has been for the progress report and the like one of the drawing streams. And apparently Biddy put it on in the background. He was just like, "Oh, I just put it on in the background." I was like doing stuff, but then you just kept talking about Spider-Man. you're like talking about Spider-Man and Venom for like an hour straight. And I was like, "Was I talking smack about it?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Was it your drawing Spider-Man one?
No, it was I was drawing a panel or a page for the Remise book, and I guess like the subject of the Venom movies came up or something. And so I was just talking smack about the Venom movies. And then I saw recently that Brian saw the Madam Web movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, "So is it worse than Venom and Garbage?" And he was like, "Dude, way worse." Oh, man.
A fucking Hopper, dude. He just was like going crazy upstairs. I could hear him just running around and like running into shit. And I like it was just like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. He needs to eat dinner. So I brought him back down here, gave him some dinner, and he was all juiced up. And then he ate his dinner, and then as soon as I sat back down at the desk, he just went on the couch and just laid down.
He's like, "Yeah, it's nap time."
I did it.
I'm trying to think like how I want there to be like another little dude at the left, but what does he want to look? What do I want him to look like? So got all these guys. Got all these guys just chilling.
Oh, little guy.
Yeah, it's like right here. It's gonna be to the left of everybody. Like,
What if you just made it like something weird, like a little hippo?
oh, it could be like a little like Birdman or something.
Dude, a bird would be so good. Just a guy with a beak.
Yeah. But not like a big beak, like a tiny, tiny beak.
Yeah. Just
Not-
like those beady eyes and
Yeah.
like a tiny beak.
We can have a horseman at some point.
Do a centaur, but like a horse on the top half.
And like man legs, yeah. And then Jackie can just be making fun of him the whole time. He's like, "Stop it!"
Make him like really dumb. He's like, "You're so dumb, you couldn't even be the right kind of centaur."
Why are you so mean? He's like not even trying to hurt them or anything. He's just like, "Just play chess with me." I want to be
Honestly,
smart.
I've been rereading the script over and over again. I'm sure I'm gonna need to rewrite this dialogue. And like honestly, it may just have to be until I like actually see your panels like fully done. But I don't really think I want to change that much. I mean, kind of flows. Like this book actually is just solid.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm kind of like, I'm already excited for another one. It's like, dude,
another Bullets and Blades book.
no, not another Bullets and Blades, but like another anthology thing. Because I'm just like, then I'll have my fucking Hell book. Ah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great. I just want to see what people think about that. I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care, but
The Hell book itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to just kind of bring like a almost like a yearly heavy metal kind of thing, but with our crew of people.
Yeah,
You know.
just gotta get them all to do it once.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is this emote?
I have no idea. It kind of looks like a... From a distance, it looks like, you know, that Pal World game?
Yeah.
It looks like a little guy from that, but it's not. So... He looks so innocent.
Yes, the bird is good.
Just like me. I might just put that in there in the back. Meep.
In the background of another panel, you should just have him like eating bread.
Just
like
like
pecking a...
holding a loaf. I'll put it right here. He's holding like a little loaf.
He's just always eating like crackers and bread the whole time.
So this guy's putting away matches. He's all fancy and shit with his top hat, but then he's just eating. He's eating food. Those little talons.
I did notice on your Twitch page it says you're still working on a deck builder and that we're gonna launch on Kickstarter.
All right, yeah, I'll change that. I will change that one.
Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. I mean, she was steaming.
I mean, she was steaming. Gotta make it obvious it's bread, so I might do just a giant loaf. That's so stupid. It's like everyone's so scared. We got one bird guy that's just.
He's just along for the ride.
Yeah.
I like the little crumbs falling from the side of his mouth. His beak. Good moment won't be long. Won't be long till summer comes. Thanks.
He ain't got no wings. There's that. Boom. Save that. It's so funny that we're turning Sam into a Daniel Warren Johnson super fan now.
That's how it starts. You just
Yeah.
have to read one of his books.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
That reminds me, I need to open up Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I
got
put
it
that on my
sitting right
bed.
next-
So I got that ready for later tonight.
It's dense, dude. It's a big fucking
Well,
book.
It's I flipped through it, and a majority of it, it's like half the book is the
Process.
book. Yeah, and then half the book is process. So, because originally when we were talking about it, I was flipping through it. You know, I picked it up. I was like, "Holy shit!" And then I flipped through it, and I was like, "Oh, it's only like half the book is."
Well, there's page numbers by the time you hit the back, so it's like the book itself is about 200 pages.
Yeah. Still pretty chunky, especially like feeling the pages are pretty thin, but
Yeah.
man, Alex Ross is crazy. Crazy man. And now I must draw her. I was gonna do her like dusting herself off. What was her name?
Jackie?
No,
Izumi?
Kazumi. Yeah. She's just like dusting herself off while everyone else is arriving in the background.
Oh, there. I see what you mean.
Like she's been so patient for hours. You know, it doesn't take 2 seconds to dig a hole that's like 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
Just getting freaking dirt thrown at her the whole time. And then she just lets the anger just go.
This is her time. This is like, what she does on Sundays,
Yeah.
She doesn't spend time with her husband.
Gosh. I was thinking about doing a like I'll go over with you later on about the design of the anthology a little bit. But I was thinking of adding not like a letters column, because obviously we're not getting questions and stuff, but like an interview with everybody.
Okay.
And I was thinking we can do it on YouTube, or like record it and post it later, and then also like post that kind of YouTube or that interview in the book like at the end. But
Yeah.
I also thought this would be a cool idea, is to have the QR code for everyone's like link tree or whatever they want to put into the book to lead to their stuff. Post that. It's in a circle on like the right of the page, and then like maybe their whole name in the center. So this is like the table of contents kind of thing. And then also their picture, but have it be a profile picture like the Mouth Breathers Guild logo.
Oh.
I thought that would be a funny little thing. So we could just do that with everybody.
Yeah. Just visualizing it in my head right now.
Yeah. Because I was like sketching some stuff out at work. Just like thinking of the book and how it would look. Because I do want to do like we have the cover, you flip it open, then we have like a designy page for the inner cover and the inner back cover. And then we have our logo with Mouth Breathers Presents and a little like blurb about what this book is. And then once we turn the page, then it's the table of contents, and then like where to find everyone's stuff. And then flip the page, and then it's like a cover, and then the first page of whatever story we do that starts it off. And then it's just like story, maybe a pinup illustration, story, pinup illustration, story, so something like that.
Yeah, how many people we got doing pinups?
I think Nate wants to do like one or two of his like little goblin guys. He's still interested in doing it, so I'll talk to him later in the week about that. And I think Noah wants to do like a small like amount of pages for a story, for a Western story, so he might do something. He might meet us next week or next weekend in Cary, since he lives around that area. So
I didn't realize he was that close.
yeah. I met up with him like not too long ago, and he gave me some extra like Fourth World Jack Kirby books. I was like, what?
What a guy.
Yeah. They're just issues. They're like issues that he got. So it's like, dude, what the hell? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, man. Okay.
What a guy.
Yeah. So, but he wants to do something. And I know Ben brought up somebody that did like the Acme logo for them a while back. And he was like, they might want to do a pinup or whatever. And I know Ryan expressed that if we need another like pinup illustration or something, she'd be down to do it. So it's like, okay, well, we'll talk to her later tonight, see how she feels about it. So but dude, like Ben doing that thing for us on Instagram, like the promotional stuff, that was awesome.
Yeah, Ben is really good at reaching out to people and getting
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah. It's like, dang, dude, you didn't have to do that, and you did, and I love you.
He was just like, I really like doing this, so I want to do this. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, all right.
Okay. Sick.
Been to myself.
But yeah, I definitely want to do like an interview, I guess, with Ben and James, so that for like Time Police and stuff. So.
Yeah.
And then we could, you know, obviously talk about like our anthology and everything, but do want to get them on there, do like little creator interviews,
Yeah.
and yeah, spread the word. Hoo-ha.
Taking a break and playing some Yu-Gi-Oh right now, and they've got this like special event thing going on online. It's like use these loner decks, and I'm like, oh okay. I'm like fucking with it, and I'm like, I no.
But you're not into it?
I'm just clicking around trying to figure shit out.
Should stream it, dude. Why not?
I can do that. Try to finish this game.
Did you ever do the comic blurbs for TikTok?
Not yet.
Okay.
Work really took a shit on me this week.
Yeah, I get you. Same here. The work has actually been really busy, so for me, because of Chinese New Year and stuff, so everyone's ordering leather patches. So I'm actually cutting a lot of stuff.
Huh.
But time passes by really fast, so it's fine.
God damn it. Let's see, what am I doing here? This deck is bad.
Bah. So lopsided. That was horrible. Who just walks in with just a loaf of bread?
That guy.
So I'm so hungry. Oh, that's good.
Squawk.
Squawk. Should I put a little word bubble for him that just says squawk? Squawk.
I don't know. It's funny.
Just like in the background, be like, "What are we doing here?" Like some random monster in the background.
Get him. Get who? What?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Who? What are we? What's going on?
His is just yeah.
Meep. He doesn't even speak English. He just says meep every time. I feel like he could tag along with Jackie. Or what? He could just tag along with the main group sometimes. Just at a random. He's just there. They're in the catacombs and he falls into, I don't know. Could be like, what's that one character in Gears of War that always dies? But he doesn't die. But in Gears of War, there's that one character that everyone's like related to, and they always die besides one guy. You know what I'm talking about? He's got the helmet on. He's got the blue eyes. They're like the blue glowy eyes on his helmet. I think it starts with a C.
I don't remember.
I remember. Because every single game, there's like a character with the same name. I'm pretty sure it's like the last name. And every time that character dies, besides like the last few games, there's been a dude that was related to those people. And he's been living. He's like the Kenny of the group.
I love that. Yeah, I just lose. Scoop. Let me see if I can get this Twitch stream going. Honestly, I probably won't play this for very long because I'm gonna eat dinner.
Yeah, it is dinner time.
This is kind of like my eyes hurt from writing, so I'm going to do something else.
Yeah. I might be getting Bailey interested in doing an 8-pager. Or my buddy from work, Bailey.
Does he draw or just writing something?
Writing something. But I just talked to him the other day at the bar, and he's like, "Man, like, he's just like, dude, like, you know how to draw and stuff." And I'm like, I've had an idea, but I want to make sure it's good. So can I borrow that pulp book that you have? So
that's so sweet.
yeah. So I'm just gonna give him some comic stuff. See what's up. He's like, I don't want to give it to you and be bad. That's what he was saying.
What kind of thing is he like trying to draw? Or trying to write?
He's very much into like Nordic stuff, so I assume that it's like gonna be in that realm. But he didn't even want to talk about it. He's like, I don't want to tell you about it right now. I just want to make sure it's good before I even say anything. So I was like, all right, sure, man. And then I went on tangents because, I was a few beers in. I was just, I would just go on. I was literally like talking about Bad Weekend and Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips and their like process and stuff. And I would just go on a rant and be like, what was the question?
My bad.
Yeah. He's like, I'm used to it. My boss is the same way. I was like, that's not good. Oh, man. What layers are connected to each other? No. I don't need you anymore. Yeah. Just to figure out swords. Okay. Merge selected layers. Alright, cool. Just gonna draw a face.
Look at those pencils.
Yeah, they're rough, but it's all good.
So are you gonna do you change the color of the pencil before you start inking them?
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn this into probably orange or whatever. I just throw a overlay layer on it and then print it out. But I want to take out that magazine format dimension. I already did with the thumbnails and stuff, but I want to do it again with the pages. Make sure triple check that everything fits, and then I will do the lettering, making sure everything fits, and then I will print it out. So, huh?
You busy?
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I'm gonna change the colors of the pencils, because when I print it out, when I don't change it, it kind of confuses my brain. It's what did I just ink?
Yeah.
When everything's gray or black or whatever. So. I do need to flip this whole image. Make sure everything's looking good.
Dust.
Yeah. Copy paste.
Time to get a watch.
Oh, oh,
Got his ass.
oh, oh. This guy's got jokes.
Oh, oh,
So stupid.
oh.
I'll do it again. Spang. Okay. Boom. There we go. Saving that. I was thinking about this one panel when Fast Dan talks. Like doing a close-up panel within the panel, you know, so you can see his face, like up close.
I thought that would be funny.
Okay, because I was thinking of like, you know, the Hot Fuzz movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, Shaun of the Dead and stuff, where it's just like boom, 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 like really fast. And I'm thinking if it was like an animation or a movie or something, it would just like zoom in really fast, like someone peeks out and then whoosh, and then close up to his face, and then he yells that, and then whoosh, back to her face. It's like, help me out. So I might do that. But that's 4 pages penciled out. So get that. And then we got the rest. The rest to go. This is it's pretty much all action besides like a page and a half. So that will be fun. Alright, now
Computer love.
I will say though, I won't be able to get to it for a while, but I think the next book we should do for the little zines, just the one shots kind of thing, is the Splinter Cell idea.
Yeah, I'm into that. I have an idea for like a longer form Splinter Cell thing. Because like the classic fucking Splinter Cell story is always like him and his daughter, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like my daughter, I have to save her.
Lambert. Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is we basically have her involved in like anti-Russian intelligence, like in like Ukraine and like the Soviet satellite states all around those borders. Like that all these conflicts are happening like right now.
Yeah.
And then like Sam is like, you know, he's under the impression that she's doing like pro-American shit. And then he goes in there to like try to rescue her, but it turns out she was actually like involved with all these Russian arms dealers doing like shady business dealings. And he's like dealing with the grief of that, and he's like, oh my god, my daughter's like working with the enemy, this is horrible. And then like it turns out she was just like triple crossing everybody and like was actually working for America the whole time.
Oh,
and
what?
like just playing with like, yeah, like she was basically just like an inside agent like the whole time, and like play with those like expectations of just like, you know, classic like Tom Clancy stories. Yeah, just tying it into like that level of paranoia.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm thinking.
Gotcha.
It's still very loose and I don't have it like fully fleshed out, but I like wanted it to be like classic, like, you know, espionage and double triple crossing of shit going on.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Splinter Cell without it, really.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I've been thinking about those games so much recently. Probably gonna play it pretty soon.
Yeah, dude. I was like having trouble getting Conviction to work on Steam.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
They like hated my controller inputs and like didn't like the keyboard either.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was so fucked up and janky that I was, and you have to do it all through fucking Ubisoft Uplay.
Gross.
So like that brings its own host of like issues. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That's what's annoying about it.
Yeah, when I see that it's just like either Ubisoft or what's the other one? EA.
EA.
Yeah. When I see those, I'm just like, I'm not gonna try that game. It's not gonna work.
Dude, like literally I was gonna play Jedi Survivor and like clicked it and then it was like install with like EA Play and I was like I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah. Like, why can't we just do it here? I have to install other things. I don't know. It's stupid.
It was just like immediately annoying and I was like,
Yeah. But they're bringing Xbox games to PlayStation or something soon.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's gonna be like.
I have no idea.
That to me is wild.
I mean, I think Xbox is just fully dipping out of the console war.
Yeah. For sure. But have you seen you've seen the new Death Stranding thing, right?
Yeah, that trailer was nuts.
Oh man.
I'm really
No.
excited. George Miller is like completely batshit.
Dude, yes. It looks so crazy. And then like the hands on Fragile's like suit that are like expressive in their own way. It's so cool, dude. It's just like he's thinking about everything. And now apparently Kojima's gonna be making another espionage game that's not Metal Gear, but I mean it's the dude that made stealth games cool. Like, and now he's gonna make another espionage game. Like, I am so ready for that.
My body is ready.
Yes, I've been like craving it, dude. Like replaying Phantom Pain a little bit, like a few months ago, and now thinking about Splinter Cell again. And apparently, how Splinter Cell kind of brought like the crouch walk to the gaming realm, because after that's when they brought the crouch walk to Metal Gear.
Whoa.
Yeah, like, I was watching like a Gamer Ranks video about it, and yeah, it's crazy. Like Hideo Kojima makes the stealth genre, then years later Splinter Cell comes out, does that, adds that to the mix, and then every other game adds that crouch walk. But man, it's so cool. So I'm wondering if Nicolas Cage is involved in the Death Stranding or the stealth game. I don't know, because he was in that
I have
studio.
no idea.
There's like pictures of him with Hideo Kojima in his new studio and stuff. So that's gonna be awesome if it's actually brought to life. And Jordan Peele making a horror game with Kojima. That's insane.
Very excited about that.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I just fucked up. I'm gonna play one more duel and then I'm probably gonna go up and try to eat some dinner.
Yeah. Probably do that once I'm done editing these panels.
Canes play tonight at 10:30. Fucking,
The hell?
they're on the West Coast. They're in Vegas.
Oh, gross. Why? Did you
Some
watch
random-
Did you watch Taylor Swift watch the Super Bowl?
I'll say I watched the Super Bowl for sure.
Oh,
Every
okay.
time I was at Shane's house for a little Super Bowl party, and every time T Swift came on, we were all just like, boo.
Boo! And then her cringy boyfriend wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, oh, great. This has gotta be rigged. It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, dude, the script, man.
Yeah. It's like, no, there's no way. It's like, all of a sudden, Taylor Swift is dating this. And, can't wait for her to write a freaking song about that guy. I was in the stands and you were playing football.
I don't even hate Taylor Swift's music. I just like hate Swifties. They are crazy.
I mean, that's,
They're like rabid maniacs.
you know, it's kind of like, yeah. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, I will admit, but I'm not convinced that she's the best. That's for sure.
My mom and my sister got really offended at me one time because I described Taylor Swift concerts as Trump rallies for white women.
Oh my god. How dare you?
Where's the flaw in my logic?
Nah, I couldn't tell you, man. I couldn't tell you. Dude, the drum rolls. Why isn't that working? The hell? It's taking its time saving, my goodness. Oh man. Yeah, still writing to file. Okay, Clip Studio. There
Sometimes
we go.
you just click render and it does it. You know, you just gotta watch.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. What's happening? What's going on?
Good question.
What? Why is my shit not working? What the heck? What the hell is going on? Did I press something? Alright, I will, I guess, save.
I don't see any of the errors. I just see the panels.
Yeah, it's just not like I'm putting marks down, but it's not working.
Hmm.
finally. Working. Okay, cool. Still better than Photoshop.
Damn straight.
I had a friend at work being like, "Oh, you know, PlayStation 4 or 5 is gonna be around for a while." I was like, "I don't know, man. I already saw something about PlayStation 5, like 6 or whatever."
That would be
coming out."
so sad.
And then it was IGN or something that like posted a video about Sony already thinking about the designs for, or like whatever it was about PlayStation 6 coming out soon or something. He was like, "Dude, you were right." I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry." I didn't want it to happen, man. I want a PlayStation 5 so bad. Cause also we got Grand Theft Auto freaking 6 coming out, and that's not gonna come out for the PlayStation for a long time, you know. Or I mean for the PC for a long time. Yarp.
Nar.
I'm thinking about cutting my hair, dude. I know I've brought it up before, but
It does feel nice. You'll miss having long hair, but it does feel nice to make a change.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. Cause I pretty much just like put up my hair in like that warrior knot thing. So it's like, what? I don't know. I got that old picture of me in high school, looking like I'm looking like I'm in the SNL intro screen, with that like tuxedo top and the slick back hair and stuff. Yeah. Andy Samberg, Randy Hamburg,
Ambly Sanders.
Yeah, that's pretty much the photo I'm looking at, and I'm like, should I do that again? Looking like a businessman, but like a cool one, you know. Thinking about dealing crack, but like a cool crack dealer, you know. Like walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, want some crack?" Chwhoop. Like, I would love to have Kurt Russell's hair from The Thing, but I don't think my hair is wavy enough.
His hair is very, very thick.
Yeah. Like, it's got those natural waves, man. Just seeing him in interviews and stuff, I'm like, dude, he's still got the same hair.
He's a handsome guy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I can only dream of being the Kurt. You know?
I get it.
Yeah. Call me Snake. Okay. I think I'm good. Cool. Here we go. There's the 4 pages. I think they're ready.
Fuck you. That's sick.
Hoo-ha! Okay. Probably letter these after that meeting a little bit. And then tomorrow probably ink a few of these. Probably ink like 1 or 2.
Damn it, I'm retarded.
Hmm.
Click the wrong button.
Boo-doo-boo-boo. Alright. Save that. Now we got some action. Action overload. That. Yeah, it'll be a fun time. Alright. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours and 25 minutes. Dang.
Hell yeah, dude.
It went by fast.
Good timing on that, because I just won this duel
Nice.
by making like 20 mistakes. Just ripping hot farts.
Hell yeah, man.
I had Taco Bell for lunch.
That'll do it. That'll do it for sure.
Dude, I asked for fire sauce. She gave me like 35 packets.
That's like me. Bailey and I go to Snoopy's every Tuesday for that half off dogs for lunch,
Mhm.
and I get like a whole other bag filled with ketchup. So
No packets. It's just wet ketchup.
just
in
wet
there.
ketchup ready just to dip those fries in, man.
Just a snack of red, you know?
They know. They know me.
You know what a growing boy needs.
That's right. But thank you everyone for coming, hanging out. Much appreciated. But we are gonna dip on out of here, eat some food, do some things, and then pass out. So,
Hell yeah.
alright.
Alright, dude. I'll catch you later.
Alright, bro. See you. Bye, everybody.